work, some leisure.
We bookended the summer with travel.
Yeah.
And also consequently missed awesome hardware at the beginning and the end of the summer. But now we're back.
It was a hard sacrifice to make, but
we're also jet lagged.
Very. So if we seem a little bit low energy on this episode, that's why. You guys will give us a pass on that, I'm sure. Internet is always very forgiving.
Oh yeah.
And understanding. At any rate, we're glad that you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 160. This is side A, and should also lead into the fact that we split this show into 2 halves. All right. Second half will be on Paul's channel.
Everything's fine.
We should have gotten hair and makeup in today to make us look less tired.
I pulled us up and I can see what we look like. No.
Oh God. No. I don't want to look at myself right now. This is not good.
No.
But
yeah, well, this is a bad idea.
It's terrible. We should have skipped another week. No, we shouldn't have. We're troopers. We're hardcore, and we care. We care. It's because we care. And on this show, you can buy things. Wow. So maybe I just need to continue drinking. I mean, all right. We drink things. We drink things that are usually liquid. And contain alcohol. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to all of you out there for being here. Occasionally, we will use some foul language because we are just foul people like that. It's not warranted though. We use it carefully and precisely. So, if you have a problem with that, you have little ones around.
Adult language warning.
Make sure that only adults around, only mature peoples like ourselves. We also sell things in our respective stores. My store is Bitwit.Tech. You should go check it out. I've got some pretty good quality shirts and desk mats, mouse pads, sweaters, glasses. Actually, some of the glasses that we're drinking out of right now are Paul's glasses.
Those are
also on his store, paulshardware.net.
Paulshardware.net.
We both go through the same merchandise guy, who's great. He's the best, and his stuff is really high quality. If you'd like a way to support us by also getting something physical, something tangible in return that is really high quality, feel free to support us by buying something from either of our stores. Yeah,
get physical.
We should have that song automatically play anytime someone loads our store.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
We can just use that for free.
yes. Profit off of that.
Speaking of which, sorry if I got your video flagged there.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was such a spot on to the octave. But we'll yell Johnson at you at the end of the show if you buy something from either of our stores. Double Johnson if you buy from both of us.
Who sang that song? It's the
Physical.
chick.
It's 80s, right? It's 80s.
Yeah, but she's from Greece. The girl from Greece.
Oh God, I never saw Greece. I've never seen Greece. Does that make me a bad person?
It's worth a watch if you've never seen it.
Is it worth a watch now here in 2018, or was it worth a watch like maybe 5 to 10 years after it came out? And now it's
I mean, it's worth a watch.
It's a musical, right?
Yeah,
kind of a musical.
It's
film.
Maybe.
John Travolta.
Olivia Newton-John. Thank you, Milkudo. Olivia Newton-John and Ian BTV.
Chat is like, chat's basically just an extension of the internet. You guys can look up anything. You already know more information than we'll ever know. So it's always fun having you here, chat.
She's from Australia, says John.
Now we get all the fun facts, because there's obviously going to be a guy in chat who knows everything about Olivia Newton-John.
This is why people tune in to Awesome Hardware.
It's for all the information. All the important facts are presented here. This is going to be a great show. I'm so glad. You should be glad that you're here. And I think that's it, right? We can just dive into our first segment?
Yeah, we should be able to move on to useful... saying useful things.
Yes, so
let's transition into saying useful things.
Really quickly, now. I see the donations coming in Super Chat on YouTube chat. Thank you so much.
No donations.
No, don't listen to Paul. Keep donating if you like to. You're not obligated to.
But we're gonna answer them all at the end.
All at the
very end.
So just keep giving us money. We'll get back to you.
Better to give money on my half though.
No, that's also false. Lots of false information here.
That's better.
We're mixing it in with the good information. People are going to get confused.
We'll answer your question better if you...
We'll be asleep by then, Paul.
What's first segment? News?
First is an article from WCCF Tech about NVIDIA launching a Turing mobile lineup. All right? So Turing GPUs, starting with the GeForce RTX 2080 mobile GPU. WCC of Tech states that this is an article that's mixing publicly available information as well as whispers I have heard from surprisingly technophilic birds. Technophilic? Technophilic?
Technophiliac?
No, it doesn't say philiac. It says technophilic birds.
Technophilic?
Now I'm seeing this article completely differently
and
through
now,
different eyes.
And now things are interesting.
I am stimulated.
Why are the Turing mobile GPUs so technophilic, Kyle?
Well, you know, they're definitely coming soon. Even though we don't have any official word, we do have laptop manufacturers hinting that a mobile RTX card or mobile RTX GPU, is dropping soon.
So this isn't NVIDIA coming out and saying, "Hey guys."
There's been no official statement from Team Green. This is laptop manufacturers sprinkling some teasers here and there, nudge, nudge, wink, wink type stuff.
One might reasonably presume NVIDIA has made mobile graphics cards in the past.
Yes, they have. And so this.
We got some device IDs on GitHub, I see.
Yes, so that's how they spotted the RTX 2080 Max Q with the Turing TU104M /1EAB. The TU104 indicates the GPU. Turing and TU104 is the GPU used in the RTX 2080. The M perhaps indicates mobile or Max Q. One or the other or both. The same device ID was spotted on another database with the device description, where it actually, if you scroll down, there's a little screenshot. It actually listed, said GeForce RTX 2080 mobile with the same device ID right up there, top left corner. So, these Turing Max Q chips.
I'm circling it with the mouse cursor right now.
That's brilliant. As long as you have mouse cursor enabled, that should be perfectly adequate.
Making that abundantly clear.
So these Turing Max Q chips are going to have hopefully a manageable TDP, because it's going to have lower clock speeds as the Max Q chips do, and we have a slightly more refined and efficient architecture going down to 12 nanometers now. So hopefully cooling won't pose a big issue in slimmer laptops using these GPU, or using this particular GPU, because again, we're just talking about the RTX 2080 Max Q right now. The RTX 2070 and 2060 Max Q will probably come eventually, but we'll have to wait for those because the full-size desktop GPUs that correlate to those are not launching till later this year, down the line. So typically, what NVIDIA's done in the past is they'll release the desktop GPU first, and the mobile will follow. The correlating mobile GPU will follow. So if you were hoping to get your hands on maybe a more cost-effective or budget-friendly mobile Turing GPU laptop, you might have to wait a bit longer until the full-size desktop GPUs are released first.
I have to wait a really long time if the prices for the desktop variants are any indication.
Yes, absolutely. Things are lagging, to say the least. I guess more updates on these mobile GPUs as we get more information. But that's all we know for now, and that's really not even a lot because
it's all speculations. None of this is probably true at all.
It's just from technophilic birds. This is where we're all getting this from. So who's to say? But we have more juicy news that is a bit more concrete and kind of scandalous. Ooh, scandal, scheming, illegalness. Illegalness is TSMC has yet another employee, or ex-employee now for sure, that's been charged with trade secrets theft. Ooh, juicy. Thank you, Kit Guru, for this article.
What's the punishment for that in Taiwan? I bet it's
death. I hope. No, that's a terrible thing to say. But we'll get there. A former TSMC, I'll give you the bullet points here. A former TSMC employee was arrested recently by Taiwan police, which means it's happened in Taiwan, obviously, and has been charged with stealing trade secrets to his next employer, which is Shanghai Huali Microelectronics, or HLMC. The charge includes counts of IP theft and smuggling trade secrets of vital 10 nanometer and 16 nanometer silicon fabrication technologies over to his next job at HLMC.
Shameful.
Curious to see I wonder if he's actually gonna if that job's still on the table for him at HLMC after this whole thing. It's like, nope, you're damaged goods, bro. Known as Chow by Digitimes. I hope that's just they didn't give the last name, but I hope that's just his full name, like Cher. He's just Chow. Doesn't have a first or last name. I'm just Chow. I hope that's.
You probably want to pronounce like Shao though.
Shao.
Like
Shaolin Bao. Ooh, I'm hungry.
Don't.
Let's just
talk about that.
You brought it up.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, with your fancy Chinese pronunciation, dick. The ex-employee was arrested by Taiwan police and indicated a breach of trust before he could flee TSMC to HLMC. A lot of acronyms there in Taiwan. Foundry companies are already struggling, by the way, with the extreme costs and the complexities of developing these, 10 nanometer and newer fabrication process nodes. And having someone just coming in, an ex-employee or whoever, trying to just basically jeopardizing billions of dollars of R&D, is not making their job any easier. And it's certainly not bringing 10 nanometer products and such to us consumers any sooner either. So this goes back to what is the punishment in Taiwan for an employee who's been stealing trade secrets?
That's what I led with. That was my question.
And now we've come full circle because we're damn good at this.
So what happens?
Fucking badasses. I don't know. It didn't say. I hope it's something like I don't want them to die because of it. That'd be really kind of fucked up. But it should be bad enough to like set an example so that people just don't do it. Because I don't know. Why would this guy risk so much? Money. Exactly. Probably. If money wasn't involved or if the punishment wasn't really that bad. Like even if you get caught, there's low risk. So money, either HLMC offered him a shit ton of money or maybe a high-ranking position at their company for betraying TSMC. Who's to say?
Whenever I hear about like industrial espionage and stealing trade secrets and everything, I always think of Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Oh, like the guy who got eaten by the T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, no, he's not. He gets eaten by
or raptors.
The spitter.
The spitter.
And the
yes, the spitter.
And the Jeep, but yeah, right. At the beginning, he's meeting with the guy, and he's got the can of shaving cream,
right,
to store the embryos in.
Yeah, you're talking about the fat guy, right?
Yeah.
What's that actor's name again?
Dennis Nedry. He's Newman. He's Newman. He's Newman. No, I mean that's not his name. That's what he's Newman on Seinfeld.
Newman. I forget.
Seinfeld, I don't know the actor's name, but those are the things I know it from.
But yes, it's very much. That's a perfect example, really.
Yeah.
Don't be a Newman.
That's just what I think of.
There should be some sort of strict punishment for being a Newman.
Yeah.
It should be called like the Newman law. The Newman hammer will be brought down upon you. Wayne Knight, is that his name?
Wayne. That sounds.
Someone said Wayne Knight. Yeah, we got a double confirmation. Yeah. Wayne Knight.
Okay.
You don't hear that name too often. It's a name you should know because he's a big actor. Has been.
Yep.
But he's also a traitor, so fuck him. We should kill him.
So his character he played.
How do we get so off
work of
tangent here? Let's move on. Okay, Samsung CEO, sort of a CEO of mobile division anyway, says it's time. It's time finally to deliver a foldable smartphone.
Oh wow!
To the masses. It is finally here. Well, almost
breakthrough.
Here. All right, this is an article from Hexus. Thanks, Hexus.
I never thought there would be a folding phone.
Right?
We'll never see the day.
I mean, you never thought there'd be a smartphone. You never thought there'd be a phone. So Samsung's DJ Ko, who's the CEO of the mobile division, said a foldable smartphone, first of its kind, will launch, wait for it, this year. That's like...
Oh,
that's
so
like in the next 3 months or so.
They're already working on this.
Cray. He didn't reveal much info, but he did say that the device would still be useful when it was folded.
Look at that.
So whether it's open or folded, it's going to have functionality. And
it must use nanotechnology like Iron Man's suit.
It is probably going to be exactly that.
In Infinity War.
Ooh, I hope they build like Jarvis in. Built-in Jarvis would be sweet. But not like the Jarvis in the NVIDIA demo that just plays loud music and causes a ruckus.
What?
Do you remember they had like a little Jarvis in the demo with the spaceman in the suit, and then all of a sudden the little robot arms are like starting to like play music and they're dancing, and the robot guy comes back down.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's mad at that. I got some Jarvis vibes from that, but like a less intelligent.
Right.
See, you think
that's an association you probably made in your head at some point that most of us hadn't.
Really?
So,
I totally got like an Iron Man and Jarvis vibe from that scene, that relationship.
Jarvis is like a voice. You talk to Jarvis and he responds and says,
well, yeah,
right away, sir, or whatever. Tells you that.
That's why I said it was like a dumb
on the phone.
Jarvis who, like, he can control mechanical machines, but he's a mute Jarvis with.
I feel like so much of Jarvis is in the voice, though. Like if not, then that's just any given robotic AI that you could attribute to, like, there's any work of science fiction.
Yeah, but it was like him, the robot interacting.
Just say it's not a natural association.
It's not
suited
it's not a connection. Guy.
It's not a connection.
It's a total connection. Back me up here, chat.
Reasonably.
Tell me you thought of Jarvis and Iron Man during that NVIDIA demo.
No.
Let's settle this.
I thought of...
It's not too late to change your sword fight.
I thought of like... there's like a Blizzard... I think there's a Blizzard cinematic from StarCraft where one of the Marines is suiting up, and that's what it reminded me of.
See, I would have never thought that. That's just a very distant.
It's a perfectly reasonable. I bet lots of people thought of that.
Anyway, we're getting off topic, so let's get back on track here. Okay, Samsung seems to be struggling with, and this is indicated by the words of their own mobile CEO. They seem to be struggling with how to deliver a marketing message that's going to convince people that they need a phone that can fold. Like, why they're trying to figure out, like, how do we sell this to people? And my thought was, if you fold a phone, that means that it can fit in your pocket easily, but when it unfolds, it can be much larger than a device that you'd be able to put in your pocket. So it's almost like you have a tablet, maybe say a 7-8 inch tablet that can fold down to serious, like, legit pocket size that you have on you at all times. Is that not a good enough reason to sell people? Like, I would think that's pretty cool. And if, when it's folded, it's just kind of the size of a regular, maybe 4 or 5 inch smartphone.
I miss the phone that they used in the Matrix, in the first Matrix. It was like,
yeah,
like that. It's just not
like
to fold. If it's 2 pieces, it could go.
That's true.
Like that, and then you could do that thing, like when you get the call and you go, like that.
Yeah.
That was
I think
cool.
they should bring those back. Although, I don't know. What? You scroll down with your elbow.
I have many skills.
His superpowers. He's flexing. He's flexing hard. But I don't know. I feel like the sliding thing, it worked for its time, but it also seems a lot more like likely to fail because it's like a lot of like hardware.
But the 90s are coming back right now. The 90s are big. The 80s were hot for a while there. Everyone was doing the 80s stuff. Now it's going to be the 90s.
What from the 90s has been coming back?
Stonewashed jeans.
No. Chain wallets. Like, what?
Ooh,
Everything that came from the 90s should stay in the 90s.
I'm waiting for the zoot suit thing to swing back around again.
The zoot suit.
When will that...
There is a zoot suit store on Harbor Boulevard.
I know.
And
still
it's
in business.
It's been there since I was in high school.
I know.
The weird drama kids would...
Back when ska was just, going crazy. Back, not that I remember that. Of course, I'm way younger than... Anyway.
No, I love the 90s. I had to love the 90s. I grew up in the 90s. That was my... But I would have loved to grow up in the 80s more. But I still like that I grew up in the 90s because...
Everyone can feel like they grew up in the
savvy.
80s by watching the 80s, like, kids' movies. You know, like the E.T.s and the Goonies and stuff like that. I guess mainly Steven Spielberg's work. You calm down.
Why are they crying?
You calm down. I don't know. Sense of danger, probably.
Getting some Homeward Bound vibes, like they're gonna try to escape.
They're at home.
I know. So it's like, what are they looking for?
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on.
What's next, Kyle?
Fucking
Jeez.
Battlefield 5, dude.
Okay, Battlefield 5.
Battlefield 5.
Is the open beta?
Yeah, it's open right now. It's open and shit. So the embargo just lifted for the Battlefield 5 Rotterdam videos. So gaming sites like Digital Foundry, Eurogamer, and PC Gamer have been trying out the new game with RTX on, with the RTX 2080 Ti.
Nice.
So they're testing out the RTX 2080 Ti with ray tracing, with RTX on, and they're kind of measuring the performance here. Digital Foundry noted some scores with their 2080 Ti demo running Battlefield 5. 1080p resolution was averaging about 60 FPS. 1440p resolution, 40 to 50 FPS. And 4K was getting under 30 frames per second.
Still can't play 4K.
With RTX on.
Oh, well, that's RTX on.
So, I don't know. Obviously, the game itself, the drivers for the card, and the hardware are still not fully optimized because it hasn't been released yet to the public. But if this doesn't change much, or even if it changes a little bit...
That was a terrible aim right there.
It's really bad. Like, I don't know. RTX on is going to tank your performance so badly, at least from these numbers that I'm seeing here, that...
But look how accurate the reflections in the puddles are. You can see the puddle reflections.
But then you're sacrificing your in-game accuracy, and your aiming.
Who cares about aiming and accuracy when you're immersed?
For how pretty,
and it's like you're right there in this particular reimagining of what World War II might have been like.
This is exactly this.
Wait, is this World War II? It's World War II. War One or two?
It's two.
It's two. Okay,
which is weird, right? Because Battlefield 1 was World War I, wasn't it? And why would they go to Battlefield 5?
I mean, they've been trying to rebrand the World Wars for quite some time. You know?
They have.
It's like
for years.
It used to be easy. We had 1 and 2.
That was a hero bark.
You tell him, hero. That was a big boy.
Soldier boy, tell.
That was a big boy bark.
But okay,
right.
Why? Okay, 1080p res.
Now they're hey.
Shut up.
Hey, dogs.
You shut up right now.
you be quiet, dogs.
Whippersnappers.
All right.
So, I don't know. This doesn't
right.
bode well. This doesn't bode well because the thing is that people still care way more about performance than they do next gen graphic technology. At the end of the day. And you're right. You're totally right. Who the hell is going to be looking at how accurate the reflections are in a real game?
Hold on, I'm just going to go.
Go for it. In a fast-paced game like Battlefield 5, you're never going to like stop to smell the roses. You're going to be too frantic and busy killing people left and right and trying not to die that you wouldn't even notice if RTX was on or not. But if you did turn it on, you pay, let's say, $1,000 plus for an RTX 2080 Ti. Like, of course you would want to have RTX on because that's a huge part of what you just paid for. But now your performance is getting tanked because of how, I don't know, how much of a first-gen technology this is. And that's what Eurogamer even said. They're like, this has a lot of promise in the grand scheme of things in the long run, but right now it still feels very much like a first-generation technology. So, I don't know, 60 FPS at 1080p for $1,000 for your graphics card, that's not... I don't know. Well, you know what? You know what we need right now, Paul? We need some really hardcore confirmed and stable leaks to back up this card and the whole RTX Turing business.
Leaks,
all right, so let's move on to leaks. Maybe that'll pull us out of this rut of not fully trusting this whole RTX launch and the performance it offers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this article's from Hot Hardware. And the latest leak that they found, a lot of people have found, shows the RTX 2080 Ti, the very card we were just talking about, scoring much higher than the GTX 1080 Ti in 3D Mark. Well, for that price, let's freaking hope so. But someone sent, how did this leak come about? Well, of course, videocards.com just happened to receive some juicy screenshots or images. Man, videocards.com, they've got to have like so many informants just running amok.
So someone just sent them screenshots?
So someone just sent them a bunch of screenshots of an RTX 2080 Ti scoring 12,825 points in Time Spy, which is being reported by them, not video cards, but by the leaker, as a 35% increase over the 1080 Ti. However, Hot Hardware's own collection of Pascal benchmarks has shown that this figure is closer to a 25% gain, which I think sounds more realistic. At any rate, it's the highest score from any single card that they've tested, including the Titan. And again, for the price for a gaming GeForce card, I would expect nothing less, if not more. Video Cards explained in a follow-up tweet, they said the score itself was sent to me a few days ago. As far as I know, no one outside of NVIDIA and add-in board partners had the drivers at that time. So it could be fake or using the wrong drivers, unless it was from an NVIDIA employee or add-in board partner. I wonder... It also makes me curious, like, does Video Cards really not know who leaked this to them? Like, wouldn't the person who leaked it... I don't know. I guess it could go either way. Like, what's in it for them? If they don't take any credit for it, do you think you could still get paid if you leaked information to a site like videocards.com anonymously? Could they still theoretically pay you? Legally?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know how... I don't know what the legalities are of paying money for something like that, or... Like...
I would just have to think Video Cards knows
at
who
this
leaked
point, you know, it's very easy to fudge up, you know, some results, some 3D Mark results or something like that, and take a, you know, picture of the screen or something, and enough information is out about the cards to put stuff on there to make it look reasonably, you know, accurate. And who's to say, because in another few weeks or however long it is until actual reviews can come out, that actual reviews will come out, and then this will be forgotten. So, you know, the speculation of, like, is it an actual employee who decided to take a picture of this and send it to their friend at Video Cards that they know somehow, or did Video Cards mock this up themselves in order to post, or wherever the source might happen to be, in order to post it to get a bunch of eyeballs and people talking about it and traffic to their website?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
My opinion would be the latter.
I'm not a fan of leaks.
It's your segment. You're doing a segment right now on leaks.
I know!
And you're providing...
It's because everyone loves leaks, but I don't like them because I actually report on these products for real. It's part of my job, so the leaks affect me differently than they do the regular, your average customer. There has to be some sort of distinction there, but at any rate... Let's talk about another leak.
Let's go. We got another one.
The Intel Core i9.
Oh.
Switching gears here, the 9700K 8-core CPU has been overclocked allegedly to 5.3 gigahertz on air.
It's from Woof Tech, new website, Woof Tech.
Woof.
Interesting.
Woof Tech. I'm going to start calling it Woof Tech now. That's good. It's good stuff, Paul. You keep that up. Geekbed scores have been leaked. 5.3 gigahertz on air, apparently. Previous leaks have shown the 9700K overclocked to 5.5 gigahertz on liquid with a super high voltage of like 1.53 something.
That's a lot of voltages.
Which is a lot. And a Cinebench score of 250 points in the single-threaded test and 1,827 points in the multi-threaded test. That's very high. The latest leak, however, that we're talking about today shows the chip running at 5.3 gigahertz, a bit slightly more modest than the 5.5. But that's on air. Holy crap. with a more reasonable voltage of 1.215 volts. That's actually really good. If this is true, of course. So it's very blurry, kind of, looks like it's in Chinese maybe. CPU-Z shot right there. And it's, this could be, well, this is an engineering sample. It's an ES sample. And you can see right there, it says ES right after the base clock.
Yes, it does.
So it is an engineering sample. Who's to say it could be binned? It could be binned. They could have hit the silicon lottery here with this one. Maybe that was the point. At any rate, the cooler that they were using was just a $30 Deep Cool Gamix 400 with 4 heat pipes. I think another reason, if this is all to be true, that we're seeing fairly decent overclocking results with relatively low voltage, with an air cooler, a dinky air cooler at that.
Dinky.
Could be partially attributed to the fact that Intel is now featuring soldered IHSs on these chips, as opposed to their crappy thermal interface material that they've run on previous generations. That could help immensely. I'm sure it does help immensely from a lot of testing that other outlets have already shown. So it's unclear what motherboard they're using, but there seems to be a surprising lack of VRM heatsinks on it. So
the motherboard says right here is a Gigabyte Technology Z370 Aorus Ultra Gaming.
Well, what the hell, Wolf Tech? You should.
I mean, is that what the article says?
Yes.
It does seem to be.
It did say, like, I didn't read the fine print of every freaking screenshot.
In the screenshot.
But
right
they
here.
literally said, we don't know what motherboard this is. So, with 5 seconds, Paul was able to deduce more information from their own article than they were.
We're also unsure of the date on which this upload took place. Or, anyway.
Yes.
Actually, it's like the biggest text at the top of the screenshot right here. It's C370 Aorus Ultra Gaming.
And like, of course, like I didn't see that. I wasn't looking for it at the time. I was just reading the text and looking at the scores.
Great detective work, Wolf Tech. Very unimpressed by Wolf Tech's first articles that we're talking about here on the show.
Yes. We're off to a great start there. And then the Geek scores, just really quick. Geekbench scores, sorry. The chip was running stock for this test. Reported a single core score of 6,297 points with a multi-core score of 30,152 points. Oh. Wait, hold on. Perhaps they were talking about the motherboard during the overclocking. Whereas the motherboard you spotted was specifically just for the Geekbench scores, the Geekbench test.
Okay.
That maybe that's it. That would make a little bit more sense.
Then we take all that back.
We take everything back. Wolf Tech, you guys do great work. You're a solid journalist, and we have nothing but utmost respect for you.
There's the screenshot right here.
Fuck WCCF Tech though. Wolf Tech's way better.
Wolf Tech.
Also. A 30,152 point score in the multi-threaded test, putting it well ahead of the 8700K. Again, I would sincerely hope so. Also, a much higher single-threaded score than the Ryzen 7 2700X, as we've seen from both the Ryzen generations so far. Single-threaded scores have fallen behind Intel's mainstream flagship chips. It's got higher IPCs, it's just faster clocks and all that. But a lower multi-threaded score than the 2700X because the Core i7, for the first time ever, the flagship Core i7 chip as a part of Intel's mainstream lineup is not multi-threaded. It has 8 cores and 8 threads. So obviously the 2700X's 16 cores is going to help it achieve a higher multi-threaded score.
16 threads.
16 threads, sorry. You'll have to look to the Core i9 9900K maybe would be a more fair comparison to the 2700X, as that has the same core and thread count.
How much is the 9900K going to cost?
Probably a lot more than the 2700X, I would imagine, but could also potentially be notably faster. We'll see. But that's going to wrap it up for leaks. We only had 2 leaks today, but they were big leaks. Took a long leak on all you guys.
A big old leak.
So let's move right along to Pimp My PC.
Oh, good.
We're back with rating your rigs, or not rating your rigs really, but just helping you guys out, trying to build you a better rig. See, at least this is the first one's from Josh.
And make you feel self-conscious.
Make you feel really self-conscious. I'm going to tear you a new one. 7600K at 4.7 gigahertz, a Hyper Evo 212, Asus Z270A, 16 gigs of crucial DDR4, 500 gig WD M.2 drive, 4 terabyte hard drive, 480 gig SanDisk SSD, Fantex Enthoo Pro case, and a Raid Max Vampire 750. Okay. Love the case. Love the card. The
old school Enthoo Pro.
Motherboard and RAM look great. All right, you've got ketchup and mustard on your 24-pin ATX, and your GPU cable doesn't look all that great either, even though it's black and flat. It's kind of, I don't know. So some sleeved extensions would do you some good.
It's lackadaisical. It's
very blah.
It's
very blah. Very kind of.
It needs more intention, and also the Enthoo Pro. It came out at a time, this is early in sort of a new stage, I feel like, of cases and popular things with cases. The power supply shroud was not popular. Was not very much of a thing when this case came out. And the pass-through for the GPU power cable is sort of an awkward position.
Yeah.
If you have a nice sleeve cable with a nice clean swoop coming out of there, then it's okay. Other than that, it's still a little too far down.
Yeah.
You might still consider going back through the rear pass-throughs on the motherboard tray.
Yep.
Rather than straight down there.
I would agree with that.
We could use a bit of a dusting. It looks like we maybe had a quick pass of the hand over there as you were maybe preparing to take the photo. But if it's not thorough, it's just not going to look good. I'd almost prefer the even coating of dust. But what else? I mean, yeah, just some cabling work. We've got some little stray cables. We've got some cables that are otherwise colored.
I would upgrade my cooler. Personally,
yeah, I mean the Hyper 212, if it's
with a 7600K inside of that case.
He's got it overclocked. It's 4.7. That's respectable.
True. I mean, I just think for the cooling, both for cooling, like cooling performance, and some maybe a cosmetic facelift to a degree.
Yeah, I mean
the 212 is like
that would pick up the looks if you're gonna invest in something like that.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you're gonna spend $150 on something, you could upgrade from a 1060 to a 1070.
Well, sure.
That's all I'm saying. Before you drop
$400. Before you, I'm talking like a $40 to $50 cooler.
Okay.
Whereas the 1070 is going to cost you a couple hundred. Potentially, even if you sell the 1060 used, you're going to pay a couple hundred for the card. So I'm just saying a quick and easy upgrade in a different league of its own is just upgrading the cooler to something a little bit more classy.
Okay.
Might not hurt. But yes, I do agree with Paul that performance-wise, you should look into upgrading your GPU because the 7600K is still a great chip. It's going to last you a long time. But the 1060, yes, is
that's where I'd spend the money because all in all, you got a nice clean overall build and a nice assortment of hardware too. I would say.
Indeed.
Well done, Josh.
Next up, we have
Rob Rhodes, 7700K and an MSI Z270 Gaming M7 motherboard, 16 gigs of GALORE Super Luce, 3200 speed memory. Thermaltake 240 AIO, Thermaltake 750 watt RGB power supply, 850 EVO 500 gig SSD, InWin 805 case, tough cable management, Zotac 1060 3 gig mini. They got on a Craigslist deal during the GPU apocalypse.
Interesting.
Okay, so
yeah, the cable management in this case. InWin's not known for their cable management.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
All. No grommets. Rarely ever do they have grommets.
Ooh, look at the light show though.
It definitely looks pretty sexy lit up.
Yeah.
The cable management could be much improved, I think. A lot of kind of a haystack going on at the bottom of the case near the power supply.
That little.
And it's mostly that area. Everything else looks pretty well routed.
Yeah.
I would say...
I think you're doing the fact that you're taking a side panel off picture with the flash isn't doing you any favors here.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, you're doing the best you can with all the cables you got coming off of the Thermaltake AIO.
Yeah.
Like, those just tend to have a lot of those, so...
Yeah, that's rough.
There's not a
I don't
whole
know
lot
why they
you can
don't
do there.
put those cables at the top. Put them at the top so they don't
Yeah.
have to route them awkwardly around the freaking MOSFETs or, you know, the AIO itself.
Is this a Wi-Fi card, maybe? Is that an add-on?
Maybe. Or a expansion
Yeah,
card?
I think maybe that's Wi-Fi.
Maybe Wi-Fi, yeah. Also,
Okay.
I don't know. Obviously, you got a good deal on that card. It does look a bit dwarfed in this case. Looks like there's a lot of extra room here, and like a fat, beefy GPU would just make it look a lot more aggressive. Again, just
Yeah, it would fill things out.
it would fill things out. Again, I'm just, you know, with the whole pimping aspect in mind. I guess size would matter to some degree in that regard. But everything else looks good. It's a clean looking system.
Good job, Rob.
Good job.
Thanks for sending that.
Moving on, we've got rank.
Rank.
Let's
X
rank your
luck.
build. Rank
Fizzy fuzzle.
the FX 6300 overclocked to 4 gigahertz stop cooler. Ooh. HyperX 8 gigs, 1866 megahertz, a GTX 950, which is overclocked. That's from EVGA, along with an Aero Cyclone. That's one case fan, one extra, and a $2 Walmart LED strip.
Ooh,
Sure.
it's hot sauce.
It's a 5-year-old PC, so it's a 5-year-old PC with a few upgrades. Temps are looking good. All right. First thing is, like, how do you even game or put the system under load without your ears blowing out from that stock AMD cooler? Because that is one of the loudest
I mean,
coolers.
it's overclocked. I don't know what the 6300 runs at stock. It's been a while,
I forget.
so I don't know how much of an overclock 4 gigahertz is. But yeah, that might be loud.
3.5.
3.5. So it's decent though. All right. So you gotta a lot of consideration goes into, like, you're working with limited. You know, this is a very limited budget system. I mean, it's actually a decent little balance between the GPU and the CPU, I think, in this situation.
Ooh, that cable.
Like, yeah, the main thing standing out to me is your supplemental CPU power going across here. I'm guessing just the case there's probably no options up here. I don't know what else you could do with that if that's the case. Here, an extension might be helpful for you just to give you more routing options to let you go around the side or something like that.
You can always route it under the card on the left side.
Yeah, you that is an option sometimes to go up that way as well.
It's long enough.
I mean, again, it's like how much more do you want to invest in this? But if you can find something like that for cheap, then it might be worth considering.
Yeah, I think I'd side with Paul here. Any improvements aesthetically that you could make to this rig, you would do so. I would suggest you do so as is without spending additional money.
Yeah.
If you're gonna dump more money into this system at all, then I would suggest trading up for a new platform.
Yeah, you
new card
you
as
should be
well.
saving for a new system at this point because you're
5 years old.
Yeah, but you know, I bet at reasonable resolutions at
1080.
1080 and 720, this is probably perfectly adequate little gaming system. So there you go. I would consider, if you're going to invest in something, an SSD might give you a little bit more kick out of the system, because I do believe he said he's working with a 7200 RPM hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get an SSD, like a 240 gig or 480 gig SSD that you could use with this system. You know, just do a clean operating system install, and that would give you a more responsive overall system. And then you could carry that SSD over to a new system when you upgrade that eventually.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Maybe. Anyway.
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, sir. John Boakes. We've got John Boakes. It's a new build with a Ryzen 2400G. That's a Raven Ridge APU there. Overclocked to 4 gigahertz. An 8 gig kit of Corsair LPX. He's got an Asus ROG Strix B350F motherboard with an ML120 AIO from Cooler Master. He's got a 250 gig WD SSD in there, and it looks like some LL series fans from Corsair. This is all taking place inside of a Cooler Master Box Lite 5.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look here. Oh, I kind of like your little compact setup there. It's very space efficient.
And here is where I will not fault you for the computer being down underneath.
A little lifted.
You got it raised up off the ground there.
Yeah.
You know, could be higher. Well, here it couldn't be too much higher because your desk is in the way. But
you should do a ceiling-mounted PC one of these days.
Yeah, but that's reasonable.
The inside of the system looks pretty clean for the most part.
Yeah.
I would say... Alright, so since your system already looks pretty clean, we're going to get nitpicky, right? So you've got this cable that's kind of coming off of your AIO, just the, I don't know, whatever, the pump cable that's kind of in front of your VRM heatsink. Maybe tuck that around so that you get a full shot of your heatsink. It's not covering, it's not overlapping.
Sure.
And then also, where's your GPU? No GPU, because you have an APU. That's fine. I'm not going to say get a GPU, because if you don't need one, then don't get one. But you know what? That's kind of a benefit to you if you want to buy sleeved extensions, because you now have fewer cables to buy. So maybe just one for your 24-pin. I mean, and, you know, maybe put that money into some sleeved SATA cables. You've got 3 SATA cables here that are very visible, especially since there's no like beefy GPU covering them up or anything. Maybe, you know, if you wanted to make it a bit more showy, it could be a very sexy APU build. Maybe get some sleeved extensions for those. And is it just me, or do the hoses or the AIO tubes look a little bit kind of...
No, they're fine.
Frayed a little bit? They're fine? Okay.
I mean, I think they're fine.
Okay, they're fine. Yeah, they're totally fine. Again, I'm just being nitpicky. Everything looks great, though. Everything looks great.
I could see you dropping a. I mean, depends on what you're using the system for and what games you're playing. Like if you're playing Fortnite, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I could see like a GPU and a CPU upgrade in the system, which would take it, you know, could take it pretty far. But
yeah.
Anyway,
unless it's like an HD PC.
It's less aesthetic. Very nice little build, though.
Thanks, John. Next up, we've got Anatli.
Anatli.
Hope I'm pronouncing that right. 6700K H170 motherboard, 16 gigs of Vengeance RAM, a GeForce GTX 1060, 6GB Gaming X, H75 AIO, SSD, and yeah. Okay. Interesting, you have an H170 board but a 6700K. I'm wondering if you got a really good deal on the CPU. Yeah. At any rate.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a complete waste. The 6700K runs at a higher frequency than the 6700, but
of course.
Yeah, a different motherboard would allow you to overclock.
And you've already got, you know, an AIO on there.
Yeah.
But
it's
nice.
But maybe you're just not into overclocking.
Could be that.
What's this like? This looks like a camera wrist strap attached to the top here, hanging down with like a guitar pick or something.
I bet you that's to combat GPU sag or something.
Maybe just holding it up. Yeah,
but it doesn't even look like it's pulled taut, really.
Yeah,
it looks like it's just
hanging there.
It's just an artifact. He's just, you know, like people put little figurines and stuff in their builds. I think that's what it is. That's kind of interesting.
We have mismatched front intake fans.
Yep.
One red and one white.
Make the top one red, because the case on the fan on top of your case, is also red. So it's already, the white fan's already outnumbered. Might as well just get one more red fan in there.
Yeah.
Make it all matchy. Sleeved extensions would do you wonders here. And it looks like not much you can do about that Wi-Fi card and the cables coming from that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, look, if you have some more space behind the motherboard tray, you could pull some cables back, tidy things up a little bit.
Definitely.
But yeah, that front fan is the main thing that's bugging me.
Altogether, a very solid build. Thank you very much, Anatli. And that concludes my half of the show.
Yay!
Wow, we made it through without passing out. I guess we could still do some Q&A and Jonathan's.
Okay.
All right. Let's do...
All right. Are we going to answer questions? Or we... All right, fine.
Let's just answer questions. There aren't too many.
Good.
Good. Sell, in the interest of time here, because Paul and I's brains are ticking against the clock, do not accept any more donations. No more. Any questions that you guys have that you want to do? If you're about to donate, save them for Paul Saff.
Yeah, we'll do a cutoff and we'll continue on my half.
Tom's Bremsmits, 50 Norwegian krona, long time no see. Started cleaning dust out of my PC, but ended up modding my Evolve ATX and started an upgrade project to PETG from soft tubing. Nice, that sounds great. Also,
well done,
Paul HTPC.
Yes,
it's coming.
That is
2020.
I thought about that today.
2025.
And thinking about it made me feel it was very fulfilling.
I'm sure you're working on it diligently.
Thank you, Tom.
All the time. Teddy Tiger, $20. Wow, thank you, sir. Or madame. Hopefully we'll be buying a Ryzen 2 rig in the near future, but I'd love to meet you guys sometime and geek out, buy you a beer. Until then, use this $20 to buy something worthwhile. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Teddy.
Speaking
of beer, Kyle, grab that thing of beers right there.
I'm on it. Red or black?
Well, grab the whole thing.
Okay. We're gonna pound all three right now, right?
Whenever we drink beers that are sent in
these
people,
were sent. Yes.
I always feel bad for not remembering who sent it in, so I put this. This is from Gus from Kansas City. These beers are from Kansas City.
Nice.
It's in a Milk Stout Nitro 6-pack thing, but that's not. No, that's not what it is. These
are Munich-style brown lagers.
KC Beer Company. So there's a Hefeweizen.
A Dunkel.
There's a Hefeweizen.
Oh, they're all different.
A Dunkel.
These are Dunkel.
And the dry hopped farmhouse ale.
Oh, okay. I was thinking there was some milk stouts.
Which one do you want?
I'm gonna try the brown lager. That sounds interesting.
I'm gonna do that too.
And it's Munich style. We were just in Germany.
That's true.
It's so relevant.
All right, thank you, Gus.
Thank you, Gus. Appreciate it, man. And then also thank you very much, Teddy Tiger, for your generous donation, sir. MB67, $13.37. Welcome back. I enjoyed seeing your social media posts from the places that I used to frequent back in the day.
Nope.
Nice.
Glad you enjoyed them.
I was pretty good about social media on this trip. I was posting frequently to Instagram, doing lots of stories, and Twitter, not quite as frequently, but definitely got some tweets in there. It can be very easy when you're having fun and traveling to forget about social media, because it's kind of counterintuitive. You're like trying to unplug and get away, but then you're like, no, I should be somewhat working and connecting with the viewers and stuff. So I'm glad you guys, I'm glad MB, you enjoyed both the posts that Paul and I were making, mainly mine. Ehawk Nut, $4.99. Put this towards an RTX 2080 Ti. Yes. Now we're one very small step closer to affording a $1,000 plus graphics card.
That's good. Every little bit helps.
Or you can just wait for NVIDIA to send us one.
Thank you, Ehawk Nut.
Daniel Mullins, €5. Hey, I'm familiar with the euro. I was just using those. How do you think the 2070 will stack up against the 1080, especially with no release date? Well,
€2 here.
€2 on the wall.
2070, they said October. They did say October, so.
October. I think, well, against the 1080. Oh, against the 1080, I think it will outperform the 1080, but maybe not the 1080 Ti. I think it will be somewhere in between. Because that's a pretty big gap from the 1080 to the 1080 Ti. You know?
It's a decent jump.
So it's a bigger jump than 1070 to 1080. That's for sure. It's hard to say, though. It's really hard to say. If you look at the price, which is what, $799 for the 2070?
2070 is supposed to be able to be bought for $499.
Oh, I'm thinking of
the cheapest one.
2080.
And $599 for the for the Founders Edition or for other more expensive versions.
At $499,
which is about the same price as a 1080.
Yeah.
So you would think it would perform in the same range.
Yes. Again, my guess is somewhere between 1080 and 1080 Ti. Which side it leans more towards remains to be seen. But we'll have that information for you soon enough. Thank you very much. Mr. Daniel Mullins. Next up we have Tom's Bremsmits 50 Norwegian Krona once again. Probably will end up upgrading to 2080 Ti from a 980 Ti, and I think prices are okay. And I'm thinking upgrading to 7700K from 7600K, or latest i7 is worth it. If you're asking if it's worth upgrading from 7700K or to 7700K from 7600K, I don't think so. I would rather just go for higher.
The 2080 Ti.
Go for a higher core count.
The 2080 Ti is the. Wow. Sorry. Why are they freaking out like that?
If you have a if you're getting a 2080 Ti, then I would go for.
They can't hear you. Nori, here. Quiet. All right. That's better.
They need to go in doggy timeout.
Sorry about that, guys.
You loud mother effers. All right. Paul brought down the hammer, and the dogs are now quiet.
Oh, the camera moved.
Oh. Why'd you call him back in here? Jeez. We just can't win. So, I think if you're buying a 2080 Ti, then don't upgrade your 7600K to a lowly 7700K. Especially if you're saying that the 2080 Ti pricing isn't an issue for you. Go with an i9 9900K. Or a Ryzen 7 2700X. That would be my advice.
Of course, this is all speculative, and we wouldn't recommend unreleased hardware before you actually see reviews on it.
Well, of course not. We're not Tom's Hardware.
Ha!
That fucking
Okay.
shit. Alright, so Mike Booth, $10. You advised me on starting a PC building business last year. Did we? Okay. I hope that's going well. I started bitbuild.co.uk, and I've uploaded some PC builds to YouTube, including one for a guy that works on Doctor Who.
Oh, nice.
Thanks! Channel is Bitbuild.
I like Doctor
I like
Who.
it because it sounds like it starts with the same 3 letters as my channel. So it's obviously pretty good. Everyone go check out Bitbuild on YouTube.
Bitbuild.
And you know what? Be an active member of this community. Watch one of his videos, maybe one of the recent ones, and let him know how he could maybe improve if there's any, thing you can help him with. Constructive criticism is always appreciated.
Why do you assume he needs to improve? Like, why do you...
Because no one's perfect, Paul. Are you perfect? Do you never
maybe-
need to?
maybe-
Do you not need to improve? Are you saying you never need to improve?
I wasn't talking about
You're already
me.
great.
I wasn't talking about me.
Oh shit! Oh, cool. Perfect. Paul wasn't talking about himself. That's a fucking surprise.
No, there's lots of ways I could be better.
No, I don't know. That's just what I would want for myself. So, I was offering the same thing to Mr. Bitbuild, but
I was just looking for a way to criticize, And really,
I was just offering constructive criticism on your suggestion, guy.
Yeah,
to offer constructive criticism.
True.
Criticismception. At any rate, thank you very much, Mike Booth. I hope your channel. I wish your channel much success.
We need to move on and do my half of the show before I lose the ability.
All right, we're gonna go into sixth gear here. Nordic Gapper, $10, $1 for
Gapper.
each Gigaray. Stay ray traced, fam.
Ooh.
Let's hope that phrase never catches
A
on.
lot of Giga
Thank you very much, Mr. Gapper.
Need the RTX ops.
Philip Rams. I wonder if that's your real last name. That'd be freaking awesome. $10. Hey guys, welcome back. Any chance RAM prices? Rams has a question about RAM. Will drop anytime soon. I've been tracking the same 16GB kit I bought a year ago, and it's still in the same. It's still the same $200 price tag on Newegg. Thanks. I don't know if RAM prices will drop.
No,
I don't think so.
there's
no signs.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but right now, it seems like if they hadn't dropped with news and stuff that's come out in the past couple months, maybe they're just kind of stuck. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you might just want to bite the bullet and spend the money, but
just do it.
Excuse me.
You could buy a kit of RAM for maybe $170 if you look hard enough. Maybe $150 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Black Friday's coming up.
Really
Soon Larson, 100 Dick with DKK. Dutch? No. Danish?
DKK.
At any rate, 100 of something you've given us. Love what you do. Love what you guys do. Thanks. I love what you donate, which is 100 DKK.
Yeah, it's Danish krone.
Clearly Danish krone. Thank you very much, Sune. Sorry, Mr. Larson. That's easier to pronounce.
Yes.
And thank you guys so much for all your questions. That's going to do it for my half.
We love you too.
Should we do Johnson's all at the end in your half?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sign off. Don't go anywhere, guys. Follow the link in my description if you're watching on YouTube, or just stay where you are on Twitch. And also feel free to do timestamps for me if anyone would like to do table of contents and stuff. I would very much appreciate it. Just put it in the comments, and I'll pin it and thank you. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Bye, guys.
Beer.